Did you know assessment centers were first used in World War I by Germany to shortlist their officers? United States Office of Strategic Services also implemented assessment centers to select both military and civilian recruits for spying activities in World War II. American Telegraph and Telephone (AT&T) became the first private sector company to use assessment centers as a method of assessing its manager potential in 1950s. Let's see what we have for today. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Vijay. I welcome to your lecture on Assessment and Development Center. The major outcome of the lecture includes that you should be able to describe Assessment and Development Center, distinguish between Assessment and Development Center, understand their implementation, monitor the outcome, list the various benefits. Let's move to our first objective. Let's understand the two. You all are aware that HR department in consultation with concerned department conducts several functions like recruitment, selections, appraisal, etc. To achieve more perfections, many organizations establish assessment and development centers apart from HR department. Assessment center is used to take decisions like recruitment, promotion and appraisals, etc. They uses series of evaluation techniques like simulation to have detailed evaluation of individual applicants or employees. Alright? Whereas at development center, we assess the potential of an employee to identify his or her strength and developmental needs. Alright? In development center, we document each individual strength and weaknesses and use them for developmental and individual achievements. Please note development center has a predefined competencies and behaviors as reference point which are used during assessments. Okay, let's understand the two in more depth. Development center and assessment centers are often confused as being the same, as they use the same techniques to evaluate the employees, but there are certain clear differences between them. A development center, as the name suggests, is conducted only for the development purpose of the employees. At the development center, the candidate is provided feedback after every exercise. Alright. However, during assessment centers, it is only the decision or the end result that we receive after the assessment. Alright. Let's move towards implementation and assessment centers. There are 4 stages in implementation of assessment and development center, of which first 2 stages are meant for preparation. The third is implementation, and finally the 4th stage, which is used to sustain the quality of the center. Alright, let's understand. The first stage is pre-planning. At this stage, we carry mainly 4 activities. The first one is need identification, then we have commitment, the third is goals or objective, and finally to establish the policies. Let's understand the pre-planning phase. Here at first we identify the needs at organizational or departmental level. Alright, once the need is identified, we need to establish a sense of commitment among the board of members, managers or other stakeholders. Then we will establish specific goals or objectives. For example, one goal could be to do selection of employees for some specific department, let's say for marketing department, etc. Okay. Then to achieve our goals or objective, and finally to complete the pre-planning phase, we will lay down certain policies and procedure that to be followed. Okay, let me clear you the difference between need identification and goal establishment or objective establishment. Please understand, in need identification, we are trying to answer as for what purpose we are establishing these centers. Okay, whereas in case of goals or objectives, we are concerned about different small objectives which we will achieve which we will achieve on daily basis once the center gets functional. Okay, hope you're clear with the first stage. Then the second stage is process development. To develop a process for assessment and development center, we need to conduct job analysis at first, okay, during which we will formulate a clear set of competencies or behavioral indicators needed for assessment of a particular job. Okay, once competencies are identified, we will prepare simulations by using the job analysis outcome. Okay, then we have design process. Here we construct a number of exercises or series of exercises so that an individual the exercises on which the individual needs to work in the simulated environment so that the assessment can be done effectively. Okay, got the idea about the designing process? Then we have designing the format. Once we have the simulated environment and the different exercises for assessing the individual, now the time has to come to prepare a layout or the blueprint as how the complete center will work. All right, and finally we give training to assessor or rater, etc., who all are involved in the process of assessment and development center. Please note, here we provide the training to assessor or rater so that they could do it in the best possible way. All right, please note, during first and second stage of implementation of assessment and development center, we have all activities starting from the need identification till the blueprint of complete process to be followed in the center and the training of the assessor and rater. Now we have implementation. Now we are moving towards the implementation of the idea or the blueprint of the center. All right, implementation stage. At implementation stage, before making the center fully functional for the employees or individuals, we usually test the system that we have created till now so that the loophole, if any, could be removed. Up here, we test the system or blueprint of simulation or the different exercises and their processes created in the previous steps at the test center. Okay, at test center, we operate the different components of assessment and development center on a diverse pool of individuals to ensure that the components operate effectively, fairly, and the process as a whole gives the desired results. All right, while at implementation or run center, we implement the system and make it functional for candidates or participants, including ongoing quality checking. Okay, basically to say, before making the center functional, we test it on the diverse pool of candidate in test center, and finally it's implemented. Okay, then we have the last stage, that is post implementation. This stage is also very important. It has three components. The first is follow outcome. By follow outcome, we mean to say will act as per the outcome of the center. Let's say the outcome for a candidate of the center is that he is not fit for the promotion for this year. So while following the outcome will not give promotion to the individual. All right. Then we have the feedback. During feedback, we provide feedback to the candidate or participants, and the development plans are also laid down for the participants or the candidate according to organizational or participants' needs. Okay. While in monitoring, we set up procedures to review and monitor outcomes and development of the overall center. Outcomes arising from assessment or development center should be monitored very regularly. Please understand that monitoring is very important, as the future of assessment and development center in the form of quality depends largely on monitoring. The few important things that which we need to consider in monitoring includes, or we can say during monitoring, we need to focus on certain things like whether the exercise that we conduct in center be a resemblance to work situations or not. Okay, other aspects could be the time allowed for each individual exercise so that the evaluation could be done is enough or not. Apart from this, the simulation exercise needs to be reviewed to ensure that they remain up to date. Okay, and finally, evaluation should be made as rigorous and scientific as possible. All right. As of now, we are clear about the Assessment and Development Center and its implementation. Let's move towards its benefit. There are certain studies which reflect the importance of these centers if implemented properly. Certain output that we can have from these centers includes, the first one is identification of high potential employees. It has been observed that high potential employees are 91% more valuable to a business than non-high potential workers. It is also observed that simply adding a star performer to a team alone boosts the effectiveness of other team members by 5 to 15%. All right. The other benefit that we can reap from these centers is identification of training needs. To bridge skill gaps, assessment centers enables organizations to train their current employees and attempt to develop the skills within their staff. According to studies, it is observed that the companies that invest in employee training enjoys 24% more profit margin compared to the companies that don't. Okay, the third in the row is, or finally, we have leadership development or succession planning. These centers act as a catalyst for change. As leaders learn about the gap between their mindsets and skills and what is required of them to lead effectively. One more thing, the feedback from the assessment center helps organization identify if the people can, or the person or the employee can handle the challenges offered in the next higher position, or the person could be taken as for the succession or not. All right. With this, we wind up our lecture. Hope you enjoyed the lecture. Thanks for patience learning. Feel free to write to us. Thank you very much.